Hi, and welcome to Mindful, Beautiful, and Thriving, a podcast series by Tharaka Foundation focused on youth mental health. Before we begin today's episode, I just wanted to let you all know that all content that is found in our podcast is created for informational purposes only. This content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or therapy. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, and never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard in this podcast. Thank you so much, and without further ado, let's get started.
Thank you so much for joining us again today. I am very honored to have Vibha with us today in this conversation. She is going to share her journey with us. She is a mother of 3-year-old daughter. So welcome, Vibha, for joining us today. For those who don't know much about you, please do introduce yourself.
Thank you, Punam. So my name is Vibha, and I'm a mom to an energetic 3-year-old, and I'm currently trying to build my own business. Before this, I spent several years as a senior product manager at Cisco and also a developer at Cisco, which was an incredible experience. I got to work on a lot of different products that changed how people communicate and collaborate. But after becoming a mom, I started reassessing what I wanted my life to look like, and I wanted more flexibility and control over my time. So now I'm fully into building my own business, and I'm an entrepreneur. So it's been a quite a journey, and my kid keeps me on my toes every single day, and it's been a very rewarding as well as a learning experience trying to manage our lives so far.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vibha. So, how does your typical day look like with 3-year-old?
Yeah, so right now, so I send her to a preschool. So I typically wake up around 7 o'clock, 6:30 to 7 o'clock, and I make my daughter wake up too, and then I prepare breakfast for her, and then she's usually dropped to school by around 9:30, and then I start doing my work. My focused work time begins then, and then I try to do some client calls, emails, product development before lunch, and then I take a little bit of a lunch break, and again I spend the rest of the afternoon doing some deep focused work. I usually pick her up between 4:30 and 5. um, and after that it's full on mom mode. I spend all of my time either preparing for dinner, taking her out to any of the library activities, and then I read books to her after her dinner time, and then it's the bedtime routine. It can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 1.5 hours. And I usually end up sleeping along with her. um, so that's, I think, if I'm not too tired, then I get up, like when she goes to sleep by around 9:30, or even earlier, then I log in and check my emails, make sure I am prepared for the next day, and then the whole routine starts again.
Thank you so much for sharing your routine. It looks like you are a super busy mom and you're doing wonderful things for your daughter. So, what do you do for your own self care, if I may
Yeah.
ask?
So for me, I one thing that I'm consciously doing is take walks. Like I go on regular walks at least once a day, 30 to 40 minutes. That really helps me to reset and get a break. That's one of the things that I do. And I also used to do a lot of like workouts, like weight training. I've taken a break, but I'm going to get back into that. And I do yoga and pranayama whenever I feel the need for it. So I'll just put on like a YouTube video and then follow along. Um, so those are some of the things that I do. And I also make it a point to go to the networking calls. Like I keep getting invites to different conferences or meetups, so I try to go to some of them, um, to make sure it's like it's a good break for me, as well as I get to interact with a lot of different people, and I learn about what's happening, what are the new products that are being shipped and launched. So I get to know what's out there. So those are some of the things I make sure I prioritize as well.
That's beautiful to know you are taking good care of your body. You are socially also connected with others. So, as far as your parenting goes, do you feel any challenges during the day or in general for your parenting journey?
Definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of challenges. So I used to feel like, I had a lot more time before I had a kid. So I would never have to kind of plan so much as I'm doing right now. So that's another thing. Like I have to kind of coordinate my schedules with my husband, and, we have to make sure that one of us is taking care of a daughter. So time is definitely a challenge. I feel limited on that, time and energy also. That's another important aspect. And so basically I try to maximize whatever time I get. Like when she's in school, I try to schedule all the important calls during that time. So time is another important aspect where I feel, how can I do better, how can I create that time for me, or that energy space where I can do things that I want to do. That's one thing. And then right now, like, things are becoming better with my child. Like she's over 3 years. She's like, I can instruct her to like do some things independently, but still she needs my time. That's another challenge of, how do I coach her to be a little more independent so that I can parallelly do things. That's another challenge that I'm going through. And with each stage of the child growing up, I feel there are different challenges. So right now I'm dealing with temper tantrums of my child, and she's usually a very matured kid, but she's going through that stage where she wants to assert her voice. And I sometimes I feel I don't have all the tips or tricks to handle the different tantrums. So I would love to know if there are any solutions around, what all I can implement. I've tried to teach her to do some box breathing. I've tried to kind of use the physical touch so far. Um, and then I try to talk to her, get her to a level. I try to calm her down. Those are some of the things I've tried, but I still feel, sometimes I'm not getting through to her. So I would love to know if, yeah, if you, Punam and Rini, have any suggestions around that.
It's great to know you are doing some of the things, right things, rather deep breathing. You're teaching your child at young age. So let us hear from Sister Rini. Rini, do you have any tips and tricks for Vibha?
I would say, I mean, Vibha is doing lots of great things already. As you mentioned, deep breathing. I find definitely deep breathing will help her come close to her own truth, right?
Mhm.
Away from her emotions, back to herself. And one thing I would definitely say that children are like sponges, right? They absorb everything. And the
Yeah.
way we tackle our own emotions, that's the way they are also subliminally catching that. So I think if she sees you very peaceful amidst her tantrums, and you are completely nondescript, you're just not affected by it. So I find that if you feel that her tantrums is just the way she's trying to express something or assert, as you said, assert her own individuality, right? And it's a beautiful thing to let her safely assert her individuality, at the same time having her feel that you're always by her side or behind her if she needs you.
Mhm.
So that kind of freedom,
Mm-hmm.
yet when you need to draw some boundaries, you're also drawing some boundaries. So it's kind of, we need the sensitivity of as being a parent also. They don't want to feel smothered by a mothering, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we don't want them to feel that they're not cared for by being aloof, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so I find that at least what has worked for me here is that my love for you is unconditional, whether you're throwing tantrums or you're being the most well-behaved child.
Mhm.
My love for you will be unconditional. Nothing about your behavior can change the fact that I'm always there for you. Kind of may not be verbally,
Mhm.
because it's not verbally necessarily going to be understood by her. But if that is from where you are coming,
Mhm.
and that is the background from which you are coming into words, or even just silently being present for her
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
be whatever she wants to be in this moment,
Mhm.
and you're just observing your own emotions in that moment, if there's anger, frustration, or irritation coming up, and you
Mhm.
are seeing that irritation, frustration with detachment in yourself whilst she's throwing tantrums.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just doing your own checking as to, okay, I see this irritation coming up within me, seeing her behavior. So I can see there's a subtle expectation on how she should behave.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see that within me, but that
Mhm.
which I am, which is observing that irritation,
Mhm.
is absolutely at peace with that irritation within me, right?
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Let me know. I mean, just interrupt me if you think it needs more clarity, because it can be a little subtle, but it's very, very beneficial. And I would say it's extremely powerful. And if we can really see, I remember when my children, even not just at the age of 3, their tantrums don't stop even at the age of 15.
Definitely. It's in that
Yeah.
moment when you basically you feel like you cannot do anything. It's very easy for, moms to feel shut off or disconnect. Um, but I try my best, even my husband also does, but sometimes it's, if we are very tired and, you know very exhausted, from the day to day, we're not able to do that, like be peaceful in that moment all the time.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, for me it's very easy to recognize those emotions, maybe whatever I'm feeling, but getting past that will does take time. So, and
And
then
that's,
yeah,
sorry, finish what you say.
yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I try to talk to her and go to her and then not react. But yeah, how can I reduce that time?
Yes, reducing the reaction time,
Yeah.
right? And that's where one would say that I'll just give you a simple analogy and see if it makes sense to you. And let me know where it needs more clarity. Think of
Sure.
a screen with an image on it, right?
Hmm.
And today, what we are is we are identifying ourselves with the images on the screen, right? But liken yourself with that screen that you are is just very clean, empty, pristine screen that you are,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Free of all images.
Hmm.
Although when the images come on the screen, they can't change
Hmm.
the complete emptiness of the screen, doesn't change just because some images have come on,
Hmm.
right? Something very similar. Know yourself as that screen.
Hmm.
The piece of the screen, that emptiness, when I'm saying not emptiness, that is a sense of lack.
Hmm.
Emptiness, when I'm saying it's empty of any emotional chaos.
Okay. Okay.
That emptiness that you are, that screen that you are, is unaffected by the emotions that appear within you.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens today is we immediately identify with our emotions today.
Yeah.
And like I remember, for example, until I started studying a little bit of more spiritual teachings, I used to think if anger is coming or if frustration is coming, I'm frustrated. I would say that to myself, and I could hear that thought speaking. I'm so frustrated seeing her behavior. I just want her to calm down. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to do with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened is I started taking a pause.
Okay.
And as I took a pause, I just stepped back
Mm-hmm.
from the emotion of frustration and trying to fix her so that I can feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just started taking a pause during the day. We don't have that much time as a parent of 3-year-old. I think it probably will be, and with work, it probably will be very difficult for you to find half an hour or 20 minutes of silent meditation. So we can just take silent pauses, 20-second pauses. So when
Mm-hmm.
she's throwing a tantrum,
Mm-hmm.
what had worked for me is when they're throwing tantrums, it's as an opportunity for me to go back into myself rather than fixing her first. I
Okay.
have to make sure that I am coming from the place of screen or being that undisturbed peace that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when I was giving the analogy of screen, it's like all those images are like thoughts and emotions playing on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I am that undisturbed screen, unaffected screen. And as that unaffected screen, I can see those frustrations, irritations, desire for her to be calm, to be peaceful, because her pain as a mother is giving me pain too, right?
Yeah.
And a mother
Yeah.
and a child are so closely interconnected, right?
Yes.
So I had to kind of really take that step back, and I said, if I can only give her what I'm feeling about myself right now. So instead of fixing my daughter, whether at the age of 3 or whether at the age of 13, I need to make sure that I am accepting of my own emotions first. And then know that I am that peaceful presence, aware of those emotions. And my identity is in my undisturbed peace rather than my ever changing emotions. And then
Mm-hmm.
from that place, when I would come into action with her, those words, sometimes words were spoken,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes words were not spoken, but just your silent presence at times will calm them down. And
Yeah.
sometimes when the words are spoken, because they are completely instilled with your peace that you are knowing yourself to be, those words will have immense power. And we
Mm-hmm.
are not trying to change their attitude, their behavior, their particular part that they are playing in this moment in any way. They are unconditionally loved. And
Mm-hmm.
that is the most solid background that they will receive from us. That screen that I'm seeing myself to be, she and I share the same screen,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Then from that place, that you and I share the same being, and then from that place, I find you will find that that which is the right response will come to the situation.
Yeah. That's really valuable advice. Yeah. I'll implement it for sure.
And it takes time. Don't be too hard on yourself. These things don't happen overnight
Mm-hmm.
because first we are really learning how to mother our own mind. So it
Mm-hmm.
takes time, and it's fine. And one thing I have at least, and I'm sure Sister Poonam can also tell us about her journey, because one thing I've learned is never to be harsh to myself,
Mm-hmm.
because I've never met a perfect parent ever in my life, or at least I don't feel I have ever been a perfect parent. But yes, I do know that I have always learned from all the imperfections of my part, and knowing that my perfection is in my being, not in my thoughts and images. That
Mhm.
has really helped me. Sister Poonam can also share.
Yep, I can relate with both of you. So my first thing, Vibha, I would say everybody has 24 hours in a day. You
Mhm.
don't have less or more, right? So, and I never, like, I used to think I don't have time, but that mindset now I have time, and we are meeting today. I made sure we have time. So that is one thing. And the other thing, what Sister Rini was sharing, when I could see that canvas, right, that white canvas, and all these emotions are coming as colors on the top of that canvas, but I am that peace. I don't need to, get peace from anywhere. In fact, you can't buy peace, right? And peace, if we can all buy, then this world would be peaceful place. But peace, I am peace, right? And as Sister Rini was telling us, unconditional love. I think it's so powerful. And I, like, when kids were growing up, I did put condition. If you do this, then I will love you. You are a good girl, right? So
Yeah.
all that is not a really good condition. That is conditional love. And if kids, they do get that conditioning, I think that's not healthy for them, to be honest, because they will be always people pleaser, pleasing today mother, maybe tomorrow teacher, then friends. So it's a good idea to take good care of first my own emotion, as Sister Rini was saying, mother of your own mind. When you are coming from a calm place, you are that peace, then you will give that peace to your child also. So I think not losing your calm, not losing your peace, even though your child is throwing tantrum, that is the art. We all need to learn, and I learned over the time. Having patience with your own self is important, and that perfection, as we were talking in the beginning, also. It's okay not to be a perfect mother. As you were explaining your typical day, a lot is going on in
Yes.
your day, right? And sometimes it's okay. You may not be able to find that perfect balance, or, not give that unconditional love, but do not go in guilt. My challenge was I wanted to do that unconditional love, but when I lost it, I went into guilt cycles, which was not again that kindness to myself. So, my recommendation would be kind to your own self. And as I asked that self care piece, even though, yeah, you have busy schedule, but taking those powerful pauses
Mhm.
throughout the day, doing that inner check with your own emotional well-being will train you. You are that piece, you are that screen, which Sister Rini was reminding us. We don't need to get carried away with all these emotions. So it is an art, and it comes with practice and having patience, and you will get there. And as Sister Rini was reminding, even 3-year-old you're telling, and both of us are parent. My daughter is 25-year old. Sometimes even she throws tantrum right now also. So so I just listen to her calmly, and then I try to give that response through my calm center and peace center, and things work out. So that's what my recommendation would be.
Thank you. Yeah, that's very valuable.
Anything else you would like to ask or share, Viva?
Yeah, so I would love to know how do you manage, um, yeah, we need to take care of ourselves. We have limited time, but how do you optimize your day to day? Like, as a parent, are there um, any best practices that you could share that has helped both of you to optimize your time so that you get some time for yourself? You're able to um, also like spend time with your family, work. What are some of the best practices that you have like over the time implemented?
Sister Rini, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sister Poonam. Um, I would say one thing that I really realized, and I would say not long ago, but I mean just very recently, actually, which I might share with you, and it may help you reflect on the aspect of time. I realized I'm always doing only one thing at a time. I may think about 10 things I need to do, but actually, I'm always doing one thing at a time. And so, at a practical level, I would say at least what helped me is if I can, and if there's a possibility to reduce the number of things that I'm doing, which I find may not be that important during the day. I may reduce the number of things that I'm doing, which are not nourishing me first. Yeah. If they're not nourishing me, then they're not important for me to do.
Okay.
Right. So that's one thing. So you may want to go through the things that you do during the day and what is important, what is not important, and just at a practical level, just cut down the number of things which are not nourishing.
Okay.
And number two, I realized that, and you from what I heard about what you were mentioning about your daughter, you said she's going to daycare or school, right?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Preschool, right? Okay, so you do have time during the day.
Yes, definitely. I'm sending her 3 days a week right now.
Okay.
But I just changed that to kind of see if I want to spend time with her. I'm experimenting, you know,
Same.
in 3 and 5 days. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it does give you some time to kind of plan things around for your work as well, right? So on practical note, these things are also very important to take care of.
Yeah.
But then when we are doing something, if you can catch yourself, and more you will spend time self-reflecting, introspecting, you will find that whilst doing everything, so whilst, let's say, for example, you're washing the dishes or preparing the meal or doing your office work, maybe when you're doing your office work where you need to really be mentally involved, it may not be that possible. But there's some aspects of day-to-day work that we are doing where we don't really need to be mentally that active, right? I mean, that involved in a particular task. So I could be washing dishes thinking about past or future,
Yeah.
right? Or I could be cooking food thinking about whether she like it, she won't like it, kind of things like that, right?
Yeah.
Instead, if we can just do the task at hand, and maybe kind of, if it helps, seeing that I can only share from my own experience. I don't know what it would be outside of my experience. I can share my experience. So, like when I'm doing day to day things, I'm kind of always, as you told your daughter, deep breathing. So, I kind of also bring my attention to my breath, away from my thoughts to my breath. It somehow brings me back to my presence, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm washing dishes and if I catch myself thinking about, oh my God, I've got to do this also and I've got to do that also. How will I finish all of this? Let me finish the dishes quickly, 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 right? That's what we do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that kind of creates a sense of rush within us. And we feel we have no time.
Hmm.
But actually, we have all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all the time. It's these kind of thoughts when we identify with, we feel as though there is lack of time. But if you're very peacefully, the speed of the task may be fast. Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
But the thoughts are not creating a sense of rush anymore because my attention is on what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And also, I'm bringing attention to the screen that I am. So, as that screen, I'm very calm, undisturbed peace. And I see this, oh, I've got to pick her up from her daycare. And I've got only 10 minutes left. Let me just quickly do it, finish it before she comes, right?
Hmm.
So, I personally am not very goal oriented. I'll be very honest.
Okay.
Like sometimes, as a parent, we can say, before she comes, I must make sure all my dishes are done, right? Or my food is cooked. For me, it's okay if dishes are not done and the food is not cooked by the time she's back. But the best food she can get from me is the peace of my being,
Mhm.
number one. And after that, we can maybe when she comes back, we can prepare the food together. She's a 3-year-old, doesn't mean that she can't enjoy. In fact, I can instill that joy of ordinary day-to-day task in her, with her. We can do things together, and I can help her chop how to chop the vegetables or how to dry the dishes. She can sit with me and help me dry the dishes. We can and it really helps them boost their self-esteem. They're helping their mother.
Yeah.
Their mother needs their help,
Yes.
kind of that it really boosts their self-esteem. So I find not to see them as just their age and they are not capable. They're extremely capable, godlike beings,
Yes.
extremely capable. And if we can see them with that vision, then I find that that's what will come back to us,
Mhm.
right? And and I really do find that not only are they just capable, they are very sensitive and they're very smart.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and they probably are closer to their truth than we are in our adult bodies, right? So I really find that they may be throwing tantrums outwardly, we are throwing inwardly, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of beauty, if we are able to see in their presence, trust me, they are catching every bit of what you feel behind your words, not what you say, but
Mhm.
what you feel behind your words.
Yeah.
So I find that these things, they're much smarter than we are. I find that.
Yes. Yes. That's for sure. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I will pause and try to gather myself more during the day.
Yeah, help her. You know what? Come, we'll prepare your tiffin together.
Mhm.
And maybe you want to just put the cucumber here on top of the sandwich. I'm just giving an example. Like you can cut the cucumber and then why don't you put it wherever and however it may not be the perfect sandwich you want, but that's what she wants, right? So these kind of things, everything becomes fun with them. And
Yes, definitely.
and you're treating them with respect, with love that they deserve, not that, oh, you need to always be taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter actually helps me quite a bit. She's very good with cleanup. So
Beautiful.
I don't have to push her too much. If, you know, she might not do sometimes, but the time she does, she's like very thorough and very, very helpful. So that
Beautiful.
has been a blessing.
Wonderful. Sister
Eh,
Pooja.
But I was thinking is the art of prioritization, right? As Sister Rini was saying, your to-do list.
Mhm.
If you are trying to be everywhere, I think that was my challenge. I was trying to do everything, but I think multitasking is a myth. As Sister Rini reminded us, the presence, fully present, whatever you're doing, whether that's cooking, cleaning, or your office work, right? The focus needs to be there. Uh, that quantity versus quality. So even like, I'm trying to do 10 things, but I'm not fully present and hardly getting 2 or 3 things done, then, I was impacting my own self esteem. And then going in that guilt cycle, oh my God, I did not do this, that. So having that realistic expectation is also important. Uh, so narrow down what are important things for you to do in a day and feel good about what you could accomplish, that have done list. I used to think somebody will appreciate me. Now, like, so many years, I learned I don't need anybody's appreciation. I appreciate my own self. I am a wonderful mother. I am a wonderful wife. I'm a wonderful colleague for others, right? So instead of, trying to do for others, I started to try to do for myself. As we are saying, the focus shifted. How am I feeling? How am I doing? Am I trying to please others, or am I taking good care of my own self, my own emotions? So that, again, the center of focus is my own inner being is peaceful. I think things will become peaceful, no doubt about it. By having that practice, frequent pauses definitely helped me along my journey. That's
Thank you. I would
wonderful too.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, thank you to you, Vibha, for sharing your beautiful journey with us, giving us a chance to peek into your world. And in fact, when you were sharing, I was thinking how I was, or how my daughter was doing all that stuff when she was 3 year old. When Sister Rini was sharing that beautiful, playful time together, right? So even telling stories, cooking up stories rather, right? Making up stories like, regarding food or animal. That was the beautiful time I felt. Thanks to you, you took me back in my journey. And I'm sure parents who are listening to us today, they are learning a lot. From your journey and from our reflection. So, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your beautiful journey with us. Thank you, Sister Rini, for always enlightening us with your peaceful presence.
Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you. And thank you, Vibha, as Sister Poonam said, giving us a peek into your parenting journey. And it's beautiful, and you're so open to wanting to um, learn more about yourself rather than trying to fix your child. How can I really take care of my inner world? I think
Mhm.
this is the very most important first step towards um, beautiful parenting. I would not say perfect parenting, but actually more like I would say more like a journey of parenting that is constantly blossoming. Also, we are learning with our children actually. So
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Thank you to both of you for letting me share my story, my journey, and also guiding me or equipping me with a lot of things that I can try. I'm going to definitely take more pauses during the day, gather myself, and make it more playful for both of us.
You are listening to Mindful, Beautiful, and Thriving, a podcast series by Tharaka Foundation. As part of our youth series, we will be releasing new episodes every month, so make sure to continue to check those out. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we thank you so much for listening.